All right, welcome to the Thrive Tribe podcast with Jarvis Hall, where we share real stories and real results using the 4 pillars of fitness. That's movement, nutrition, mobility, and recovery. In today's episode, we have a special guest, Collin Threatt. Collin is a dynamic fitness content creator with a thriving community of 294,000 subscribers on YouTube, where he shares his inspiration to countless individuals to elevate their fitness journeys. Driven by a passion for health and well-being, Collin's mission is to provide and to motivate others to push beyond their physical limits and reach new heights in their physical endeavors. Through his content engagement, Collin not only shares his personal fitness journey, but offers practical tips and strategies, empowering his audience to achieve their goals. Today, he's here to share his story as a successful YouTuber and his lessons that he's learned along the way. Welcome to the Thrive Tribe, Collin.
Man, I'm glad to be here, man.
So glad to have you. All right, we're going to jump right into the interview, get to know you, see how your success build, and we're going to go from there. Sounds good?
Perfect, yeah.
All right. Can you tell us about your introduction to fitness and what sparked your interest?
So my whole life, getting into fitness, I actually played soccer up until college. Not college, a little bit in high school, then a little bit in college. And that really kind of got me into it. I was always a very athletic kid. My dad is a bodybuilder. He actually competes in shows. And my whole family, they always kind of, lean towards fitness. But as I got older, playing soccer, I realized, I want to be stronger. I was very athletic, very fast, but I was pretty weak, I can't lie.
Okay.
So it kind of just got me into lifting and doing calisthenics and bodyweight workouts and things like that.
So how did you end up picking this workout style? Like you said, you got into the bodyweight, the calisthenics. So what about that movement drew you to it?
Yeah, so for me, I was 17, looking at fitness, getting into it, and I did not have a car, so I couldn't drive to a gym. And at the same time, my dad, he would work out, and he would wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to go to the gym. So I was like, man, you know what, I'm gonna look up these YouTube videos and get my workouts from, actually a guy specifically, Austin Dunham.
Okay.
Got me into it specifically, so I started doing that, doing research, and then after time, I just got stuck to it, I couldn't really, I got so used to working out every day, I couldn't really go a whole day without hitting a little, pull-ups, push-ups, some sort of routine.
Yeah. So that's how the home workout started?
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
Okay. And when did, by having your dad to be a competitive bodybuilder, was it normalized in your house, as fitness, or was it, something that he just specifically had going on?
Oh, everyone was fit. My dad, my older brother, he even competed too. My oldest brother, he competed. But everyone was kind of in the gym. I even have 2 uncles who compete. My uncle Michael Ferguson, he was in I think he was in Olympia actually a few years.
That's your uncle?
Yeah, that's my
uncle.
So man, it's we're all kind of connected into it. So it's just, and I feel like we all have great genetics that kind of go into it.
Come on now.
Once I started doing push-ups, my chest developed in 3 months. I feel like I had a nice chest.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just comes so naturally to anyone.
And just on the push-up tip, I think that's totally underrated. People don't give push-ups the credit that they deserve. They're so foundational, and it show up in your lifting as well. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, because for me, I started with push-ups, and I was really actually making a video doing push-ups 30 minutes before I left my house to actually come here. So it's funny you say that. But for me, it's push-ups, and then I started getting in the gym more. So I started mixing dumbbell bench, and I don't know, it kind of just translated so well.
Yeah. Okay. What challenges did you face in your fitness journey?
Oh, my biggest challenge was just insecurity about being so weak when I first started. When I started, I was very skinny. I was probably 130 pounds when I started working out. And I was super insecure about my weight, even though my body looked good. I had abs from 7 years old to that point, but I just so skinny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was really insecure about that. And my body didn't my head was big, but my body was skinny.
Yeah.
So it had to come together and develop, you know what I'm saying? Balance out my look.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, other than that, how did the journey go from you said 130 pounds?
Yeah, 130.
And what do you weigh now, and what was the time frame between the two?
Right now, I'm 185.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty solid now. But for me, it was when I stopped playing soccer. Well, actually, I had one more year playing soccer, so I got to 145. Then you start playing in the season. You running 8 miles, 9 miles a day. in a game, you're running like the whole time, so I couldn't keep no weight on.
Okay.
But after I stopped playing soccer, started lifting more. It was more like 5 pounds a year, and then you kind of slow down as you get older. Mm-hmm. But for me, probably my best shape I hit was this summer. Okay. You know, getting to like 183, 184, lean, still pretty shredded.
Yeah. That's fight weight for you.
Yeah, that's the weight for me. Like,
Okay, that's the weight. Okay.
I might even keep going up more.
But do you have a range where you want to stay in?
Oh, I wouldn't mind. One day I want to touch 200 because I haven't even been that big. But I want to make sure I'm lean too, you know.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm like 5'8".
Okay.
5'8", yeah.
200. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be sturdy.
Mm-hmm. It's really sturdy. What was your, other than gaining size, getting strength, well, how did you really develop your strength? Like, because from being an exercise scientist, you have strength, endurance, and power as the characteristics of muscle building. So what specific exercises were you doing to build strength? Yeah,
so for the explosive stuff, for me, it was always weighted pull-ups got me to next level strength. Like, I feel like weighted pull-ups is the one exercise I feel like if I'm telling anyone to do something differently, like, if people doing the regular gym stuff, get the weighted pull-ups in.
So a vest or the chain?
Oh, I love the chain. But once you start, you know, you can put a little vest on. But once you start getting so strong, it's like, you know, I do like 5 sets of 5 for the pull-ups.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for a long time to the point where I could do a one-arm pull-up on my right hand. And my left hand is a little worse, but I'm telling you, that weighted pull-ups, that'll get you so strong.
Okay. Yeah, and it really, and like you said, with the hands.
Yeah.
And I want to specifically bring up grip and grip strength. Because over the pandemic, when I went to home workouts, and then when the gyms opened back up, I lost all of my grip strength.
Yeah.
And I was like, weights were literally slipping out of my hand.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact that you brought that up about the different strengths in each hand.
Yeah.
Because that's really important. And then just doing the foundational move, because pull-ups are very foundational because you have the lat pull down.
Your bicep back.
Right.
All that, yeah.
And I like to explain to the listeners about workout splits because a lot of people aren't familiar. Like, for an example, chest and triceps, back and biceps, shoulder and legs. And so for everyone that's listening, whenever you're working the back muscle, the bicep muscle will be the secondary muscle. And when you're working the chest, the triceps will be the secondary muscle. And so just so that you can have balance in your workout, you want to work those two muscle groups together so you can stay balanced and nice.
Yeah, perfect. Like, my split is always kind of like, I would say a bro split in a way. You know how they say like a bro split is basically chest and tris, back and bis, legs. But I kind of switch it up as I go. So for me, my quads are real dominant too. Okay. So I would kind of like, okay, maybe Monday I hit legs with a hamstring focus.
Okay.
And then, you know, the next day I do chest and triceps. And then like I would have some sort of specific focus. Like for me, there's always some sort of skill I'm working on, you know. Like dunking the basketball was like a thing I worked up to.
Nice. And
that's a skill I work on, or even handstands. I love doing handstands.
Okay. So like, how long are you, like, what's your duration with a handstand?
Oh, my best is 45 seconds. Like
what? You cold with it.
I love doing handstands.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
Oh, it took me, at first you're going to be scared to even do the handstand. Like, I feel like once you get strong enough to hold your body in the handstand, it's like, all you got to do after that is just get used to balancing yourself with your hands. Because it's not even, like, I feel like it's not even too crazy on your shoulders. It's more like balancing it with your fingertips and your palm.
Yeah. Really turning your hands to your feet.
Oh yeah, right? Like it's a whole new skill. That goes with fitness, but it's like, man, that balance, that skill, that mobility. There you go. It's like necessary. I'm so for real, yeah.
Yeah. So do you do any like tempo training or like negatives, like when you're doing push-ups, like going down -3 seconds, exploding up?
Oh yeah. So really, a lot of times, depending on the time I'm feeling, whatever my goal is, I'll switch it up. But for my push-ups, I keep it real explosive. Okay. Like I do clapping push-ups, Superman push-ups.
Nice.
But clapping push-ups, maybe put a little weight on it. That's the way to do it for me. Okay. If I'm not in the gym.
So again, how are you putting the weight on? Is this a vest?
Oh yeah, this is more like a vest. This is definitely a vest. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's safety first, guys.
Yeah, I'm not putting any weights on my back. I never.
Okay.
Tried that.
All right, so let's go into your YouTube career and what inspired that journey and how did you get started?
So for me, I actually knew I wanted to do it my senior year of high school, but I was so insecure about doing it because I was still like pretty small. And, you know, you're going to get hate online when you first start regardless, because my physique wasn't like crazy enough to where I'm like, okay, people are gonna be messing with it. But I was like, okay, when I get out of high school, so I don't, people don't check me in high school for it. So that whole summer, that's when I kind of started, seeing my body was, kind of experimenting with my content and finding my voice.
Okay.
Because I was actually really shy coming out of school. Like, people who know me from high school, I did not talk to anyone. I was real to myself besides people on my soccer team. So like, kind of like just finding my voice. So even in school and college, I would just try to make sure I'm talking to this many people. Or in my videos, I would like do these vocal warm-up techniques.
Oh, you want to share some?
Well, I'll give you an example. So if you put a pencil in your mouth and try to say words clearly, because your whole mouth is going to do the whole movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So do the whole movement of saying the word every time. And it'll make you like speak more clearly and try to speak from your stomach. A lot of people kind of speak from the chest, but you got way more air in here. So just really project it a little bit.
Okay.
But I was so shy. Like, that took time. Like, that took I feel like 2 years of really just grinding that,
So 2 years of finding your groove, let's say that. When did you realize your YouTube channel was growing, like getting traction?
For me, it wasn't even a specific video. It was when one of my aunts found my content, because I didn't even tell my family about it.
Okay.
Like, my dad didn't know I did YouTube. My mom didn't. But my aunts found it because when I had about 10,000 subscribers, they're like, oh, is this, my family calls me JR. So like, is this JR?
Okay.
And it was like, yeah, and it was all showing me, and it was all like, oh, I'm proud of you, whatever. And then, my plaque my parents didn't even realize how big I was until my plaque got sent in the mail.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, so it kind of felt weird.
Wow.
And nowadays, people even recognize me. Like, my family went to St. Lucia for vacation, and these guys recognize me.
Wow.
But people would just look at you. They'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to notice you, trying to see if it's like, is this the guy?
Yeah.
So it feels weird that these are like actual people. These aren't just numbers on the screen.
How did that make you feel other than weird? Like, how did it truly make you feel at that moment?
Honestly, I really didn't mind it too much. It felt so like, dang, these are real people I'm touching now, Because I feel like it's, like, when I started, I would never thought I would have got to that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So when I first met you at the gym, I was like, this dude look like Roddy Ricch. And so, being on the internet, have you had that feedback?
Oh, in 2020, in 2021, every comment was, on TikTok especially, every comment was really Roddy Ricch. Before I grew any beard, any facial hair, man, that's all I heard anywhere. And I mean, I see the resemblance. Even
I was going to ask you that.
My parents saw the Box, the music video, and they was like, this guy kind of favor you a little bit. Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so now not as much anymore, but back then, I couldn't go anywhere without being like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, and I can see a little Noah Lyles in there too. Yeah, look, all the greats. Do you have any advice that you would share to someone that's starting a YouTube or want to get into it?
Oh, yeah, so for someone with content creation, I would say there's 3 things I'd probably say. First, for me, I would even tell people, like my friends, my family, because if there's not content that they're gonna watch, then it's gonna mess up your analytics. So like, really just put your videos out there and let the natural audience sort of find it. The natural people who rock with you, they're gonna find it.
Okay, so you didn't do any other social media promotion when you started?
I just posted the content.
Okay, and you just got consistent with it.
Yeah, because like your friends and family, they'll follow you. But if it's not videos they'd watch, they're just not gonna watch it. But you have to, like, a random person just come across you and like, okay, I kind of like this guy, I like what he does, and they'll kind of stay with you. And the second part is make a schedule. Okay. Like, I have a dry erase board, especially when I wasn't working. I would write all my stuff down, and I'm making like 3 TikToks this day. I'm making 1 YouTube video, and I'm editing it the next day. Wow. And it's kind of like real systematic. But also listen to, like, if you're feeling burnt out, take like a week off. Or even if you just have extra content made, put that for your week off and then just relax a little bit. Because, I mean, I get the numbers kind of cloud you a little bit. And third is just make sure you're in a niche that you're really passionate about, Okay. Something that you can see yourself doing for the next 3-4 years. Because I really like to look at it like, I didn't look at YouTube like, okay, I'm going to blow up and I'm going to hit it like this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, okay, maybe when I'm like 25, 26, all my work is going to pay off. But it kind of just blew up earlier than that. So from the 2 years of getting comfortable to your family finding out, like, about that you were an influencer, you got your plaque. What was that time span from when you started till you got your plaque? It was, I made content starting, like, I graduated 2020. Okay. No, 2019. And then during COVID, it started blowing up. I said I got my plaque somewhere, That was about a year and a half.
Okay, wow.
About a year and a half, 2 years maybe.
And you were posting every day.
I was posting daily, like
wow.
Like I would schedule my videos 5 days a week on the TikToks and a long form YouTube video on Saturdays.
Okay.
I kind of slowed down a little bit, but I'm gonna definitely, now that I'm working a little less, I'm trying to like make sure I'm scheduling it up how I want it. And
so with your process now for like, how many videos can you batch or how much content can you create and how long does that session take?
Yeah, so if it's like, if I'm making TikToks, I'll probably make 3 TikToks in like 2 hours. But I kind of have the videos already kind of made out.
Okay.
And then I'm recording everything. I'm making little extras. And I'm like, okay, as I go back through and edit it and pick the right sound. So it's like a whole process to it. And if you want to maximize your money on it, then you want your video to be over a minute on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about YouTube?
And for YouTube, I just, really for my TikToks, where I'll take my TikToks and put it on YouTube.
As shorts?
Yeah, I would just download it and then put it on the shorts. And then I would like, okay, I have like a whole day or like a whole 3-hour time batch for my YouTube video. Because YouTube videos, it's like, you want to play with a little bit. Maybe your vocals aren't coming out right like you wanted to.
Okay.
So it's all kind of stuff you got to get ready to. Like I got lights, microphone. A TikTok, you can just put that thing on and record.
What? And so all of this was built based off trial and error. You didn't have like a mentor?
Oh, just from YouTube.
Oh, wow.
My mentors was on YouTube and
just
bodybuilding.com and whatever I'll be looking up during class.
And what content resonates the most with your audience?
For me, what I always see is if I'm doing, it's actually hit or miss. It depends. Like I feel like a lot of times I have a mobility video that does crazy because I have pretty good mobility. Like I'm real flexible and stuff, so I stretch. So every once in a while,
like a contortionist.
I know, right? Like I do them back bends because like every once in a while you put a video out, it's like, oh, they really like that. Or if I do like a sort of famous sort of athlete's routine, like for my biggest videos, Mike Tyson's workout routine.
Okay.
That had 15 million views on YouTube. So I was like, it's probably a little more now, but that was like, wow, like 15 million people see me.
Yes.
So it's like huge. Those famous sort of athletes, and they do body weight workouts. Because I really research it. Like I look up YouTube videos, seeing their old training. Because I don't want to say like, oh, this guy did this, and then just I really lock in and see like, okay, they doing this, they doing this part. This is what I add to it.
Wow, you really build value, and that I can see why people connect with it. Because I've seen your videos, and I'm like, back to back to back to back. You're naming these videos. I'm like, I gotta go research these now because your catalog is huge. So, other than fitness and YouTubing, do you have any hobbies that you're just genuinely interested in?
Yeah. So as I grow older, my hobbies just changed. Like when I was in high school, I played video games a lot. But I kind of just phased out of that. Okay. I have a niece and nephew, a little sister, so I feel like they're all like young, so I feel like I'm real family oriented too. But even things like, it's kind of fitness related, but I really like playing volleyball. Like I'm really good at volleyball. I started playing the last 2 years.
Nice.
Just stuff I like doing, and I'm real into like movies.
Okay. What's your favorite genre?
My favorite genre, I would say like thrillers, but I like horror too.
Okay.
And then like I even like movies from my childhood, like the animated movies. Even I still watch anime too. Yeah. So I'm a little bit everywhere.
What is it? I know I'm gonna butcher the name. What is it? Naturo?
What's that?
Is that the name of the anime?
From where?
It's an anime. I think it's called Naturo or something.
For me, it's Dragon Ball Z is my anime.
Oh, okay. It's like
that got me into as a kid. And you know what? I used to always like the really buff characters on these shows and stuff. And I was like, man, I would always just root for them, like in any shows. That's why I used to love Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that was my show.
I was done that fitness inspiration. So having it at home, sitting on TV, it's like this was destined for your path, right?
Yeah, it just came together. Like even my body kind of came together. Like my oldest brother, he was in very good shape, but I don't know. I was always extremely athletic. Okay. Like
what are your next physique goals other than hitting 200?
Oh yeah, so my next physique goals, well, even just strength wise, like I want to be able to bench like 310. Okay. So usually I'm more of a dumbbell bench guy, and my max barbell bench is like 275. Wow. But I want to get up to 310 and really get that strength. Yeah. And I might even just do more powerlifting stuff just to switch it up, because I've done calisthenics for a good long time, and I want to mix it into it, and I want to get like the best of both worlds. Like there's not just one way to get strong or one way to get aesthetic.
Would you say it's good to mix like outdoor workouts in with gym workouts, or do you have a preference?
Oh, me, I'm a nature lover.
Okay.
You know, that's another hobby I got. I love being in nature. Like, I go on any hikes, bugs don't bother me. Like, I love nature. So for me, I'm gonna be outside just because that's like one of my things. And if you work out with no shoes on, that's great for your feet outside.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, just try that. That'll be a whole new world for y'all.
Because just like you were saying, the grip in the hand, it's the feet and the fine muscles that are in the feet. Also, too, it's good for grounding.
Yeah, we put these shoes on, too. It kind of stops us from
insulate.
getting there. Yeah, insulate. And you don't, like, your toes really aren't supposed to be like this, you know? Your toes are actually made to be more wide out. But we had shoes on our whole lives.
Right. That's why we got they have those little
them toe shoes.
Yeah.
I just ordered some like 2 months ago.
I was going to ask you, did you have them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got to take time with it because your feet ain't used to that. But nah, the toe shoes, they're where it's at.
So you running or just doing workouts in the shoes?
Oh, I even go for walks. And I would say this is like for anyone. Anyone should just go for walks. 30 minutes. If you go walk for walks like 30 minutes out of every day, you will see a world of change.
Yes.
Like, you don't even got to be too crazy.
No, I preach this to my clients all the time. 30 minutes a day, because once you hit 30 minutes, your body is in a fat burning state. And so from there, you have calorie expenditure that you can actually use and put out, and to hit your calorie maintenance period, because I'm getting real technical, but you have to
track my calories myself.
How do you do it per meal, or you got the scale?
I do MyFitnessPal, and then my dad, he got all these scales, so I just took one scale and I've been using that for forever. Okay. So
do you take your scale to multiple places, or just use it at home?
Oh, I take it with me sometimes.
Wow.
If I'm working, because I'll be like, sometimes at work I'm an assistant manager at a pet control company, so I'm everywhere. So I'm like, I got all my food packed up. I got my scale. So
You got a multi-container bag?
Not
for
even
your food?
just a big lunchbox.
Okay.
Like,
because I've seen it, like, especially in school, like people have especially if you're competing and like. Have you ever competed?
Actually, I haven't. I do plan on competing one day.
Okay.
But I want to build up to a certain amount of size. I know I could probably compete now. Like, I feel like I'm in good enough shape too. But
what category?
I don't even know. I mean, it'd be my first one, so it might be a true novice.
Okay.
But I've been thinking about it. My legs are pretty developed, but I don't know. I gotta think about it.
Yeah. No, because oh my gosh, like being in prep mode, that's a whole nother level of commitment. Yeah. But you're a pretty committed person. Do you have any as a content creator for YouTube again, going back to that, do you have any goals with that since you've gained traction? Do you have any, like, are you plan on like training people? Do you plan on releasing merchandise? Anything?
So for me, really training people and doing more online one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
So that's something I'm actually gonna get my certification. I've been getting ready to do that. So I want to like transition to doing that too, because I kind of like seeing people I guess cool to put your videos out, but when you one-on-one with somebody, you can really do way more. You can see how this person lives. You know, and fix the little small details, because maybe someone's doing everything right, but they're not sleeping 8 hours a night, or they're not drinking any water. You know,
there we go. No recovery, and so that's what I find out. What, like, especially being a trainer, is that most people are dehydrated, and like you say, the rest. Like some people, like, I just can't go to sleep at night, and I'm like, this is killing your gains. Like, you have to give your endocrine and nervous system restoration. They have to restore. And like the famous quote says, you know, in order for bread to rise, it must rest, right? The dough must rest for it to rise. And, you know, recovery is a big part. Do you have any recovery routines? Do you practice yoga? So for me, I actually been doing this the last 2 years. I would do yoga before I go to bed every night. Okay. So I've been doing that. That's just in my routine now, because it kind of calms me down. It brings me down to go to sleep. And even working out in the day helps me go to sleep. Like some days, if I don't work out, if I stay at home all day, I don't know, it's harder for me to go to sleep. I gotta, like, I'm so used to doing something. Yeah. So yoga, I do like 20, 30-minute routine.
just whatever I'm trying to stretch out. And my little sister actually does gymnastics too. She just turned 8, so sometimes she'll be there doing yoga with me.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 4 siblings.
4 siblings, and you make the 5th child, right?
Yeah, so it's actually, I think it was my little sister Bailey, she's 8.
Okay.
Then it's me, I'm 23.
Okay.
And everyone else is like 27, 30. They're way older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, you said you were family oriented and tight. And is she pretty good in gymnastics?
Oh yeah, she's really good. So she has a back handspring, a front walkover, and a lot of times, like, I actually learned a lot of this stuff. I learned how to do a back bend to teach her when she was younger.
Wow.
So it kind of just got me into it, and now she always want to compete with me.
Yeah.
You know, so like we'll be doing handstands together and stuff like that all the time.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
So I went to Harding Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's private school.
Private school. What was that experience like here?
It was, I really did not like going to Harding Academy too much. I mean, you know, I would say there are a lot of teachers, a lot of people I really became good friends with. But for Harding, it was just real academic. Like, you know, my senior year, I got pretty burnt out just because, you know, I'm taking AP classes. I'm heavy going to school. You know, I just started driving too. So really just adjusting to the academic life. But I will say I made a lot of lifelong friends, and the people that I met, even 2 teachers, I still keep in touch with them. They still see my fitness stuff, and they're just shocked. Like, whenever people see me from high school, they're like, wow.
Yeah, because of the growth, right? Because they see you with the size.
Because I didn't talk to anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was so shy, I didn't say a word to anyone in school like that. So they see me now, and they're just like, wow, Collin, you know.
What advice would you give your high school self?
For me, I would say, I loved how consistent I was, but I would say, keep putting myself in uncomfortable situations, because that's something I was real timid to do. Like, I did not want any sort of new situation. I was so shy. I would be frozen with fear, actually. So really just exposure therapy, forcing yourself to do these things and realizing that you can learn anything. Like, now I feel like I can really learn anything, you know, just with enough time and research. And I feel like anyone could, you know, if you stay disciplined enough, you can learn how to do any sort of goal you have.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I've been reading this book called The Speed of Trust, and I've learned that there are 2 parts to trust. You have character, which is like integrity, honesty, and then you have competence, which is your track record, results, and the ability to get things done. And it sounds like you've been building is both, you know, your character, like you said, exposing yourself to new environments and new tasks, and then having the competence of consistency and having these successful physique goals, online content creation. I'm a workhorse. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think training is definitely, I'm pretty sure you have a huge demand of people asking you about training. Right?
Oh yeah, my emails, my comments are filled, but like, that's what I'm telling people, just give me time. I still sell a course right now. Okay. So I've been selling a course for the last 2 years, just of what I did when I first started. And I made it super cheap. I made it $1 just because when I first started, I ain't have no money like that. Okay. So I was like, I'm just gonna put $1 to it. And I want to see people build up that baseline. And I think I want to do it like making people do that program first. Yeah. And then like, okay, you consistent enough in this, come with me, let me try to take you to the next level.
There we go. And how can we find the program?
Oh yeah, so it'll be in my link tree. You guys can check me out on TikTok at Collin or C3_G or Collin the Creator, or even just on my YouTube and a lot of my captions, or even my Instagram, Collin the Creator as well. So it's consistent everywhere. Interesting things. I want you guys to really check it out. You know what I'm saying? See a new side of yourself.
Awesome. And a quick question before we wrap up. What advice would you give to those who are struggling with starting their fitness journey and they're a little insecure about themselves?
I would say, you know, do this for yourself. You know, you don't even have to do it around people. I feel like for me, I was very insecure when I started. Try to do, you know, get your own space and do it alone. Because, you know, people will judge you for trying to do better for yourself. But that's okay. Once you keep going, you know, find your little pockets where you can get alone. Do your own research on it. And that will make you more confident in it. I mean, of course, it's going to take time regardless. Everything does. But if you just stay focused on that, you'll be unstoppable. In 1 year, someone can make a completely different physique. Okay. Yeah.
I always say that, too. That's really realistic, too. Yeah. You know, it took me really 1 year to get my system that was effective in my weight loss journey. Yeah. So, yeah, that 1 year, 12 months, that's it there. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you so much, Collin, first off, for coming out to the Thrive Tribe podcast. Yes, and you can definitely follow myself and the Thrive Tribe podcast at Thrive Tribe Podcast with Jarvis Hall on YouTube and on all podcast streaming platforms. My Instagram is at Realelitefitnessco and at the Thrive Tribe Pod at Thrive Tribe Pod. Facebook Jarvis Hall and YouTube Jarvis Hall, a podcast with.
All right, y'all.